Welcome to the program on word formation. Viewers, I am Sunil Solomon Philip, working as an assistant professor of English in the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Well, in this program, we are going to study the interesting ways of word formation. How are the words formed with the help of prefixes, suffixes, root. Okay, we will see different kinds of word formation, and this will help us. This will help the learners, the students, to develop their knowledge of vocabulary. Well, the concept of word formation in linguistics, word formation is the creation of a new word. Different words are they take birth from different kinds of foreign languages too. We know that very well. We are going to see most of the examples in this session. Different words that take birth from different foreign languages, right? Word formation is sometimes contrasted with semantic change. Well, semantics is the meanings of words. A semantic change is a change in a single word's meaning. Let us study more about this word formation in this session. There are altogether, broadly, we are going to see 6 ways or 6 methods of word formation. And the 6 ways are, number 1, derivation. Number 2, compounding. Number 3, blending. Number 4, acronym. Number 5, loaned words. And the last but not the least, neologism. Neologism. Let us first of all go and see the first one, that is derivation. What is this? What is this all about? How are the words derived? Derivation, people also call it as derivation, in general means the formation of a word from another word or base, and the relation of a word to its base or root. Well, the definition looks a bit very scholastic or scholarly. When I give you examples, you will come to know how easy or how interesting the words are formed through this method called as derivation. And the examples are, for example, prefixes. Take prefixes, un, right? And what are the words that are formed with the help of this prefix, with the help of this base, or with the help of this root, un? Unhappy, uninterested, unleash the potential, okay? All these things. So, un usually gives negative connotation or negative meanings. Unintentional, that means I did not intentionally hurt the person. It was unintentional, totally unintentional. I didn't do it intentionally, right? For example, take the prefix dis, dis. Well, the word dis is disappointed, disrespectful, okay? Disembarkment, disturbance, okay? All these, again, negative words. That means with the help of this prefix, with the help of this root, the words that are formed are disappointed, dismissed, okay, disengaged, all those words. For example, another prefix, that is mis, mislead, misconception, misinterpretation, misnomer. Misnomer is a false name, misnomer. Okay, words misunderstand, misguide, mislead, all those words. Again, all words with negative meanings, and the prefix is mis. That is the base, that is the root here. Let us now see some of the suffixes. You see, I have given you examples of 3 prefixes, that is un, dis, dis, mis, mis. Let us now go and see some of the suffixes. For example, nes, that's a suffix. And the words that derive from this suffix or this root is happiness, okay, lawlessness, helplessness, joylessness, peacelessness. That means happiness is a word that denotes positive meaning. Lawlessness, peacelessness are the words that denote negative meaning. Both the kinds of words can be they can be derived from this suffix ness. Right. Another suffix, that is ish, 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 childish, childish. I mean, I don't know. He has that childish mentality. Okay, very. I feel feverish, feverish. Okay, these kinds of words are derived. Right. ISM. This is another suffix. ISM. 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 Okay. So prefixes, suffixes are the best roots with the help of which we derive words. Okay. Narcissism. ISM. Narcissism. Loving self. Self-loving is narcissism. Okay. There are also very fancy things nowadays called as, for instance, after the name of the movie stars, this suffix is used. Or when you feel yourself as great, you use this kind of suffix. Right? People generally call it as Pavanism. Pavanism. That means that is his methodology. That is his approach. That's his style. Right? Okay, fine. For instance, full, that's a suffix again. Okay, joyful, playful, okay, kindful, grateful, so on and so forth. LESS, less, okay, driverless, penniless, hopeless. As in words like unkind, disagree, misunderstand, kindness, childish, behaviorism, useful, useless, all that. That means with the help of prefixes, suffixes, with the help of a base, words are derived, and that is one method of word formation. Let's go and see the rest of the methods. The rest of the 5 methods of word formation. Compounding. The second one is compounding. What is this? In linguistics, a compound is a lexeme, less precisely a word, that consists of more than one stem. Compounding occurs when 2 or more words are joined to make one longer word. Right? For example, footpath. It is composed of 2 nouns, foot and path. Both are nouns. You combine them to make the word footpath. Right? Similarly, blackbird, for example, it is composed of adjective black, bird, noun. When you combine these 2 words, it becomes a word called as blackbird or blackberry, which is a very famous phone. Right. Also, we use words such as workaholic. Workaholic. Work, well, it's a noun. Work is a noun. And alcoholic, he's an alcoholic, is an adjective. So when you combine the noun plus adjective, it becomes workaholic. Workaholic. Similarly, globetrotter. Globe is world. Trotter is a traveler. So globe and trotter, both the nouns, when you combine them, that becomes a word called as globetrotter. So this is one method of word formation, that is compounding. Remember these examples and try to see and try to learn more number of these kinds of interesting words, so that you can develop the boundaries of your vocabulary. You can expand the boundaries of your vocabulary. Right? Okay. These are also kinds of collocations, word combinations. Word combinations. For example, handsome salary. Salary is a noun. Handsome is an adjective. Handsome salary. Right? People also say big fat salary. Big fat is an adjective. Salary is a noun. Big fat salary. Right? That's also an example of compounding. Right. Great. Blending. We have seen derivation with prefixes, suffixes. We have seen compounding with the help of parts of speech. For example, adjective plus noun or noun plus noun. Right? the way words are formed. Now let's go and see the third type of word formation, that is blending. What is this? The very word blend is combination. In linguistics, a blend word is one formed from parts of two or more other words. These parts are called morphemes, the smallest grammatical unit in a language, morpheme. The best example is smog, for example, which comes from smoke plus fog is smog. Similarly, take the words such as brunch. Breakfast plus lunch is brunch. That means for example, you skip the breakfast, you also skip lunch, and you take your meal sometime at around 11 in the morning or 11:30 in the morning. That's called as brunch, solid meal that you take in the morning, right? Okay, or in the early hours in the forenoon. Let's say forenoon, right? Okay. Breakfast plus lunch. Now let us take another example, that is motel, M-O-T-E-L, motel. That is motorcycle plus hotel, motel. The best example is dhabas that we see generally on the highways, where these motorists, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, they just park their vehicles and they go grab some breakfast or dinner or lunch, and that word, those kinds of hotels are known as motels, right? Okay, so this is another third method of word formation, that is blending. Well, the fourth one is acronym. Acronyms are pronounced as a word containing only initial letters, only the starting letters. An acronym is a word or name formed as an abbreviation from the initial components in a phrase or a word, usually individual letters. I repeat, an acronym is a word or name formed as an abbreviation from the initial components in a phrase or a word, usually individual letters, as in IARE, for example, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So we take I in the institute, A in the aeronautical, and R also in the aeronautical word, and finally engineering, we take E, right? For instance, JNTU, we take in Jawahar, we take J, right? In Nehru, we take N, and in technological, we take T, and finally in university, we take U, and that makes the acronym JNTU, which is a word that is formed as an abbreviation, and sometimes also syllables. There are several examples of such acronyms: NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization; SCUBA, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus; laser, light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation; and last but not the least, which is very interesting, which we use in our WhatsApp messages, GIF images that we send. The GIF is acronym. The full form of that is Graphics Interchange Format. Right? Interesting example, isn't it? Under these acronyms in this topic, word formation. Right. Let's go and see a few more in word formation. Loaned words. In the beginning of the program, when I began this program, I said there are a few words that take their birth from foreign languages, that originate from foreign languages, and we are going to see such a few words of that kind under this loaned words, and they are: in linguistics, loan is borrowed from another language. Examples are Adam's apple. Well, this is Adam's apple. The thyroid gland is Adam's apple, which is very prominent among men and not very prominent among women. That comes from the foreign language French, right? And another example is pineapple. It comes from the foreign language Dutch. Antibody comes from German. Scapegoat, Hebrew. Killer whale, it comes from Spanish. Muzzle comes from the foreign language Latin. Rest in peace. Usually when someone passes away, we say, may his soul rest in peace. And this phrase comes from the foreign language Latin. Right? Interesting examples, aren't they? Right. Let me also give you some more methods of word formation. Neologism. Neologism. Neo meaning new, and logism. This word is derived from the Greek words neo is new and logos is speech. Logos is speech. Neologisms can become popular by way of mass media, the internet, and word of mouth. Electronic media, print media. We know electronic media is television, internet, World Wide Web, and print media is all newspapers, magazines, and all that. Culture and technology use are major drivers in neologism development. That means, some latest words are coined. I'll give you examples of that also now in this session. An example of a neologism is the word webinar. A classic example of that is webinar. For a seminar on the web or on the internet. You see, because of this pandemic corona, earlier seminars were conducted. Now we are conducting most of the webinars. So it is a seminar that is conducted on the web or on the internet, and that is called as webinar. Interesting example, isn't it? Netizens, for example. Netizens meaning people who use internet. Denizens meaning citizens or people who live in that particular area. Denizens. Webworm is another classic example. We know the word bookworm, but webworm is another classic example of neologism. That means new word in speech. And most of the engineering students are webworms. They love to read on smartphones. They love to study even for their exams on smartphones, laptops. So they are most of the times webworms more than bookworms, right? Okay. So what is that we have learned in this session? What is our takeaway in this session? We have learned 6 methods of word formation, and the 6 methods are: number 1, derivation. I said with the help of prefixes and suffixes, we frame words or we use words. Second one is compounding, and the best example for compounding, I said, is combination of parts of speech. Noun plus noun or adjective plus noun is compounding. Blend. Here, what happens in blending is you take 2 words and make it as one word. For example, edutainment. Education plus entertainment is edutainment, right? Just like motel, and then the examples that I gave are brunch, okay, kinds of things. And of course, for compounding, where 2 nouns are joined: blackbird, blackberry, footpaths, right? And examples such as that are handsome salary, big fat salary, right? Then the other method that we have learned in word formation is acronyms. Acronyms such as IARE, JNTU, GIF, graphic interchange format. Loaned words, where words are loaned, they are borrowed from other foreign languages such as Adam, apple, pie. We have seen muzzle. We have seen examples such as rest in peace, which is a Latin word. Okay, right. And the last but not the least, neologism. Neo is new, logism is speech, and the new words that have become popular or famous with the flow of this electronic media, print media, are since they are more in use nowadays. Latest words such as webinar, words such as webworms, okay, netizens, words that have become popular with the help of electronic media, print media, usage, modern words, latest words, they are studied. They are the words that are studied under neologism. So, viewers, these are the 6 methods of word formation. Remember all of them. Develop interest in learning new words. Try to read interesting newspapers, magazines. Try to remember the word contextually. Okay, remember, use the word as many times as possible. Make the word your own, so that your spoken communication, written communication is fluent, confident, accurate, authoritative, and interesting. Thank you very much for watching this program on word formation. I'm Sunil Solomon Philip. Thank you very much.